I'm using the e-collar because I want this to be an extension of myself. Okay. And I use the leash to give guidance to show him what to do if I need to. Now, step in between your resource and your dog, and then walk them down. That's a sign of submitting. And then that's the completion of the correction. Now, some dogs after correction, they don't just sit that easy though. It's a bit of a moment before they relax, okay? Because they're still focused on, okay? That was a 11 on the e-collar. No particular reason why it was 11. I started at 5 and I just dialed up until I seen a response, okay? So this is the normal response if a dog's being respectful, okay? He's oriented away from it. He listened to my body when I said, I don't want you moving around. So I'm going for like complete and utter control. That's what I'm going for. I want him to know that when I need control, you need to give it to me. And he's given it to me. He's given it to me so far. Good boy. He hasn't fought. He hasn't fought it before. So when he doesn't fight it, he gets rewarded. So there's that balance, okay? Good boy. Okay, so he can learn that too. I'm not gonna give him this particular plate. I'll feed him off from it, but that's I'm using for this exercise. Break. Come here. Good boy. Now let's watch his behavior now. I claim that particular plate of pepperoni. Good, that's a respectful dog. Very good boy. Good boy. Very good. Now here's the thing. I need you to use your imagination here. That's a plate of pepperoni. Big deal, Josh. You can claim a plate of pepperoni. The concept translates to everything. That could be another dog. That could be a squirrel. That could be a person. That could be a bike. It's just something I'm telling him not to concern himself with and to leave alone. Okay? That's what I'm developing within our relationship. And the dynamics of our relationship say that I am the one, as we enter the world, I decipher which is mine, what you need to stay away from, what you can have, when you need to just relax, when you can come over and be part of the situation. I'm that guy. I'm the leader, right? So this is the first step, claiming a very important resource, which is food. Okay. Okay. Now, the other thing we claim is space. So we're not going to let him wander all over here, right? I can start stopping him with my body in the e-collar. Okay. Boy. Good boy. So you see what this creates is a dog who keeps their eye on you because you're very important. I also need him to know that I'm not dangerous. That's why there's finesse to this stuff, okay? I want him to know that he can trust me and that I'm looking out for his best interest and my best interest. But here's the rules. Okay? So this is step one. And then you repeat it with different things, okay? No. Break. Boy. Boy. Sit. Good. Now I need to teach him that he can't get up once I ask him to sit. Good boy. Good. Very good boy. Smart dog. 4 years old, so he's been around the block a few times. Smart enough to know. Now, sit. Good boy. Smart enough to know that when I grab the leash, it means that he's supposed to be following. Which isn't what I want him to think, but that's what he believes. Good boy. Okay, so the food is multiple purposes right now. One, I'm a stranger, so it helps me give some type of positive feedback, right? He doesn't want my pets as much as some dogs do initially, so I'm using food to reward more than I am petting because he's not really, He doesn't really care about my affection right now. If he cared about my affection, I would be using that instead. Hunter. Good boy. Break. Good boy. Now that sit wasn't entirely relaxed, and I'm not even concerned about it right now. He shouldn't, he's entitled to feel how he feels right now because he's in a new situation. So I'm not gonna like go for 100% perfect position in all this right now. I'm just asking him to relax in the sit and not move. Okay? Good boy. Good boy. Very nice. Alright? So this part's going nice. We're gonna start building on top of this. Good. You see how he's pushing into me and stuff? Okay, right there when I go to touch him there. You didn't do it that time, but see that slight turn like that? That slight turn like that? That's not good. That's the first sign to me that he's nippy. Okay? He tenses up a little bit and he just kind of turns his head to the side. Good boy. Now I don't know why he's healing with me because I did not teach him heal. Other than good. Everything that I've done since he's been in my care so far, which has been like 10 minutes, has been me leading. So automatically he starts following. And you see this on day one all the time with the way that we do this. It gets the dog into a follower mentality. And if a dog wants to fight that, then they literally fight it and they try to bite you and all this stuff. And you go through that process. And at the end of the day, they come out of that saying, okay, I'm going to follow. So we're just creating followers. That's really what we're doing. Followers who are educated and trained up so that we can also have a communication system. Okay? Good. All right? Now this guy he has some understanding of some things, so I'm going to play with it a little bit. Okay? I'll encourage him here. Okay. Stay. Okay, now I'm asking him not to move. And it's obvious to 99% of the dogs that I work with. When I go like this, they automatically assume I don't want them to move towards me. It's pretty amazing. So we utilize this body language way of communicating a lot in the beginning. We fade it out as we go. But in the beginning, we use it a lot because that's all we have. They don't have the communication system yet. We have to teach them it. So I have to start with the things that they pretty much always understand, which is facial pressure. Right? Good boy, Hunter. Hunter's stressed right now. Okay? I'm surprised he's still taking that pepperoni. To be honest with you. There's a note about him is he's never been away from his pack. This is his first time. So he's all on his own. And he's, struggling with that a little bit, but as days go on, he'll feel better. Okay? But we still have a job to do and we're still working on it. Hunter. Break. Good. And I need him to learn that means he's able to move around. Okay? The next thing I need in order to have the basic understanding and to do is a recall. Because you can see if I don't have a leash in my hand, it's like, well, great. Now what am I going to do? So the next thing he's going to learn is recall. Good boy. Good boy. Come. Good boy. Good job. So, the reason why there's a lot of spaces here is because I do a lot of sitting in between. So, he recalled, now I'm just taking a deep breath for a few seconds before I move on. Break. Boy. If you're not already doing that with your training, it'll benefit because it makes the dog stop and think instead of constantly jumping from one thing to the next. Come. Good boy. Come. Good boy. Good. Good boy. So all those little movements right there, I'll tighten that stuff up later, okay? We slowly get to that nice, perfect, clean finish. We slowly get to it, okay? That'd be too much pressure to expect him to look too good too soon, okay? I just want the basics. Break. Good. Come. Good boy. Very nice. This is part of his problem. He hears a little sound over there and he's automatically, what's that? That gets him in a lot of trouble at home. Because then he acts on that impulse and he goes and barks and looks out the window and starts a whole ruckus. And it starts with that. That will go away. He'll stop concerning himself about all the little things, or at least he'll stop acting on them. Okay? His judgment will become better. Okay? That's okay for now. But he can't get out of this state. That's my stipulation for now. Okay? Now, this is where I get to come in. Now, okay. Okay. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. For him to not orient himself on me. I'm waiting for him to look away from me. This pause right here is him keeping himself from going after the pepperoni. That's all that is. See, now he's relaxing. Now he's made a decision. So he was in between before. Should I go after it or should I respect what Josh just told me? And that him laying down right there, he just said, okay, I'll respect what Josh just told me. So right there you say, good boy. That's a conversation. Okay, these little things, just talking. Good boy. He made a good choice. Now I'm going to recall him away from the pepperoni. I'm recalling him away from a resource. Remember that. We're starting small, but that pepperoni is just pepperoni. In the future, it's going to be him wanting to chase a deer, go after another dog, go see the guest, catch a sat on the trail on our way. You understand? This is everything. Okay, and there's that response to the sounds again, right? But we're concerning ourselves, unless he barks or something, I'm concerning myself with just the recall right now. Come. Come. Good boy. Very good. Come. Good boy, Hunter. This is one of the things I do. Good boy. Until they center. Good boy. Come. Good boy. And this teaches the position. Good, because we never stop that and get the reward until he's where he needs to be. So there's not going to be a rep where he's off a little bit on the position and he gets rewarded. And then later on that becomes an issue because now I have multiple places that he can go and they're all okay with me in his eyes as a trainer. For me, my recalls, if I can help it, are always going to end where I need him to be from the first one. Okay? So that's a little trick too. Boy. Stay. Okay, he gave me eye contact. We had that conversation. Now, if your dog doesn't know what stay means, this is exactly how I teach him anyway. I put him in a sit, tell him to stay, start walking away with a leash in my hand, and as I got up, no, I'm putting him back in the sit. They learn stay the same way that you apply it, and that you hold them accountable. So that's really cool. Okay, this guy's smart, very smart. So the learning curve, the learning is going to go quick. Good boy. Boy, he doesn't trust me. That'll come in time. That's why I'm respecting him too. I'm not doing anything too intruding. Okay? Hunter. Good boy. Break. Good boy, Hunter. And then I just show softness. Not necessarily have to touch him. I just go low and I don't challenge him with my body. I keep it small like this. And this lets him know that I'm safe. Right? So these little things like this is all I have for language. I just have the fundamental of body language before I can get the commands. That's the only way I can talk to him right now. okay? And this is how I build trust with these dogs who are a little skeptical, which he is, all right? Next portion, a little bit more recall on here, and then we bring it outside to see if I can get him to follow me even outside of the house, and then we'll go and let him relax in the kennel and make sure that he's polite in there, and that'll be it for today. Yeah, there's that again, so you guys can see now that concern with such a small noise, which is literally like a drop of water coming out of the sink. That's all it is. It's a drop of water from the sink to the bottom of the sink. And so you can imagine if somebody actually came and knocked on the door, right? So we, as dog trainers, we recognize these little moments like this and we say, that's the entirety of all his problems. So we know what to tackle, but first, building a little bit of a language, getting some respect, and then we'll head down the road of dealing with all the leash reactivity, all of the impulse control, all the stuff, all the predatory stuff that he has with cats and squirrels. And we'll deal with all that when time comes. We just started it today. Okay. Break. Gorgeous. Come. Good boy. Come. Good. Sit. Good. If you do this somewhere quiet, your dog should be focused on you more. I have a camera person following me, so they're more interested. He understands what I want from him. Hunter. You see when I say his name? Do you see this? Quick glance up to me. Do you see that? Watch this. Hunter. Hey. Hunter. Do you see that? He's actively ignoring me. Okay? Now watch this. When I start asking his name and I give a little bit of more pressure on here, like, hey, look at me. Watch this. Hunter. Good. Good boy. Break. So he was actively ignoring me. A lot of people don't see those little things, you know? I didn't teach him that tugging on the leash meant look at me. I was just more serious when I asked his name, right? So he's like, fine. So this tells me a lot about his personality. This tells me I'm going to have moments through this training where he's going to blow me off and where he's going to try to maybe even run in the opposite direction. That little conversation right there told me to be ready for that in the future. So this gives you an idea of how we're picking up on these little moments and we're like getting a read on who the dog is fundamentally. What is their personality like? What is their temperament like? I let him go for about 30 seconds. I want him to feel like he can actually travel. That way I can get more reps. Come. Good boy. Okay, good. Boy. Hunter. Hunter. Good boy. Hi. You're handsome. Break. Boy, so I only release him once he's paying attention to me. Ideally, in the beginning. Otherwise, you will produce a dog that does all those commands, but they're never focused on you. You know what I'm talking about? He could easily be that guy, which is a very disrespectful thing. It's like talking to somebody, but they're on their cell phone. It's very disrespectful. He knows that, and I know that, but you have to know that. Come. That a boy. That a boy. Good boy. Good boy. She's gonna make it happen. Good boy. Now I've been having him look at me in order to move, so let's see if he starts offering it. See if he can figure that's how he can get out of this. No. Good. Good. Break. Okay? So this is all session 1. I think we've been working for about 15 to 20 minutes right now, maybe 20 minutes. Got about 10 to 15 more minutes. And day 1 comes to a conclusion. And it's probably our most important day. Okay, the last thing I need to achieve while I'm out here is him following me when asked. Now this isn't the same as a heel. I'm just asking for him to be behind me as we travel. And that's also going to give me a read on how difficult he's going to be to create a follower. Some dogs do this easily, some dogs put up a fight, and that gives, it just all depends on the dog's belief system, the dog's genetics, the dog's experiences up to this point. Come. Good boy. Come. Good. That's what I like right there. That beep means be in front of me. Good boy. Sit. Good. Okay. I'm going to ask him without saying heel. Okay. I'm just going to start asking with the leash and see how he behaves. See if I can get him to follow me. Break. So this is where I start to ask. This is the first part right here. Ready? This is me right here asking. Good. That is it. That's my first time asking him to follow me. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to do that every time he goes out in front of me. So the only way he can predict where I'm going is to stay behind me, because the only way he can tell where I'm going is to see me, because I'm not going to say anything. So he has to watch me. He can't watch me if you're in front of me. So as soon as he's in front, this is what gets a dog to want to watch you. They want to see you. Right? Good boy. That's good. Praise him while he's there. If your dog likes to be pet, you can pet him while he's walking. Good job. As soon as those eyes come out in front, it means that he can't see your leg in the peripheral vision. That's when you know you're ready to sneak away. You're looking to sneak away. And then your dog's going to say, you ain't sneaking away from me. I'm keeping you in my vision. And all of a sudden you've trained them to follow you and they don't even know it, right? They think it's their idea. See that? See that? He's like, oh, no, that's right. I need to. Because what happens is we're attached. And if I keep going, this thing's going to end up coming to the end. And at the very end, as soon as I feel it start to tighten, there's a tap on the e-collar and a little pop on the slip lead. And so he's looking to keep that from getting tight. And he's starting to learn the only way to do that is to keep an eye on me. Good. Do you see what's happening? We didn't train a command. All right? This is the point of this video. We didn't train a command. We're just developing a follower through respect and trust. Okay? Good boy. Good boy. This is all I need. I'm ready to go inside. This is perfect way to end the day, the first day. Good boy. He's following me. I mean, I can't ask for better than this. Goes out in front, I can start transitioning it to something like that. Right? So the intensity of it, you see my pop's pretty gentle. It's just enough to give him direction. The correction's coming in the form of the e-collar. That's why it looks so gentle. There's a tap on the e-collar, and then the leash is really just to tell him where to go. You see what's happening here? See how we're creating this? It's a dance. It's quite fun, actually. And by the way, you've seen everything. So you've watched every rep. So See the knowledge is already getting there. He already knows where he's supposed to be. Good. So I already know what causes him to go out. It's because there's something he wants, which is a door. That's it. Funny thing is, he doesn't even know where this door goes. He just knows it's the door. Which is locked.
I'll go get it. You want me,
I open this up, he tries to go in, then I have to correct. No. So the correction happened on the e-collar there. Good. Break. Now, we create a rule that he can't come out. This is called a boundary. It's a threshold. He can't come out until we say, okay? He might not know that right now, but I'm thinking that he's probably assuming it based off of everything we've done so far. You can see the attention given to sounds is quite a lot. That doesn't surprise me from what I've heard about him. Very good boy. Now the attention's more on me. Now it's off me. So these are things I'm documenting. The idea is to keep it more on me when I'm working with him. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean I need him to be looking directly in my eyes, but it means I don't want him to concern himself with other things as much. And as the time goes on in your training, we'll be able to have that conversation in more detail. Break. Now this is the same as place. You know what I mean? Same concept, okay? So all these things are like the sit stay is essentially place, right? They're the same in principle. Come. 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 Good. Sit. Good, that's how I like that. That's how I like it for him to put some effort into it. This guy's smart, very smart. And like I said, that is the same thing as place. So, break. Good job, bud. Hunter. Now, cat's in there. Hunter. Good boy. That's the conversation. This is the basics of how I can get him to learn what I need him to learn. So when I go to teach place, I know I have a system. He'll follow. Okay? So we teach them the system first. We teach them the e-collar, the markers, my body language, what it all means. Some of the basics like sit and recall are needed, and then we can pretty much teach the rest of the program from there because that is the foundation. Good boy. Okay? And this is why the teaching of the commands, once you have these conversations, becomes easier. The actual teaching of the commands becomes easier once they understand the system. Okay? I'll start disagreeing with that stuff soon. Right now, I can still disagree with it, but I prefer to wait for it to be very clear, like when he steps off or something, or tries to get up or starts whining. Slowly, I'll be tackling this little stuff. Okay? Like, probably tomorrow or the next day. Hunter. Hunter. Maybe surrender as well. There we go. Break. Very nice. Very nice. Good. So he's following. You can see he carries behind. Hunter. Good boy. Good boy. This seems very mild, but it needs to be done. Hunter. Good boy. Hi, how are you? Camel. Camel. Good. Very good. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Another way you can do the eye contact is you can say the name and click and feed for the eye contact, but I don't have a clicker on me. I don't have food on me. Good. It's just a lot to carry around. Good. One thing you need to notice is if you feel the vibe of this video, it feels really chill. The vibe of the room feels really chill too, okay? For the first few sessions, we want it to be relaxed and calm and not that distracting, although there's just somebody moving around a very tiny bit, and that's all it takes for him to get distracted. So if you're doing this at home, you want it to be quiet while you're teaching the basics. Once the foundation is taught and some of the commands are taught, then the idea is to add distractions anyway, so you're good. Real life is welcome. But at this point, we want to have it very controlled, okay? Listen to the silence. He stopped breathing as I looked at him, like this, because he knew he was waiting to hear me say something. What is he going to tell me to do? Such a good sign, because that means he's stopping breathing so that he can hear me better. You know, those little things are that I'm picking up. I'm like, okay, this is good. So we're heading in the right direction. There's still some attitude we haven't ran into yet, and I know that's coming, probably tomorrow. But there's also a certain level of compliance. So I feel very good about today. Break. Good boy. And that's enough for him today. Like, that's plenty. That's plenty. Okay? He's got plenty to go think about and let soak in, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. Okay?